something that you need to do in this game. You need to be prepared for any situation that can come up, because there are a lot of them, and a lot of them end badly if you don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's for sure. Backups are important in any race situation, but definitely that's the case in Rockman 2 as well, because there are mistakes you can make in this game that cost you minutes. So being able to mitigate those as much as we possibly can is very important.
Absolutely true. And our runners are off, so they are headed into Flashman. Not going to see too much of divergence in these players' routes. They're going to be taking the pretty much same route. There may be a few safety strats implemented. We're not sure 100%. Streamline has kind of been a little more quiet with his practice. We've been able to watch Ahmad's progress. He's come really far, really fast. Streamline, on the other hand, he's also come really far, but it's been over a solid amount of time. So I would say he is the more experienced runner. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Streamline's been playing this game for quite a while, and has had a great time in the game since before the tournament was announced. Ahmad has done most of his work in this category since then. But yeah, I would say that both of them are really strong contenders to win this. We obviously, like Sinister is saying, we know more about Ahmad. Streamline's work tends to happen offline, and so it's hard to know exactly what his preparation level is for this tournament. But knowing Streamline, he tends to show up prepared for these type of things.
He absolutely does, and he's experienced in the high-pressure situations. He, of course, was in the GDQ relay race, so he's been there and done that, and I agree. His preparation is going to be top-notch. Having a little bit of struggle against Flash there, though. Ahmad takes care of business, so he's going to have an early lead. It should be noted that Ahmad actually plays this on ABS, which is kind of a high-def console that is made to be like the Nintendo, but he loses a very, very little bit of time over the course of the run, between 2 and 3 seconds, because this ABS runs at 60 frames per second, and Streamline, presumably playing on original hardware, it's going to be running at 60.01. So that could be a factor.
Yeah, I mean, 2 to 3 seconds is definitely no joke. We've seen races that have had that small of a margin.
We absolutely have. And Heatman, of course, he's got a lot of luck factor to him, with his patterns, so we could see things kind of evening out after this. But this is always a stage that makes me just a little bit nervous. You got this platforming, and it's like, everything seems nice and easy, but then you got the item free throw, you've got the ladder drop, you've got the Yoku blocks, and then you got the Heatman fight itself. So nothing free in this stage.
No, this is probably like Flash is a good warm-up stage. You can be nervous, but you can usually find your way through Flash just fine. But Heat, if you haven't quite gotten your feet underneath you yet, you can run into some problems, as Streamline is right here with the zip.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of trouble there. You have about a 3-pixel window, maybe 4 pixels at the most, to drop that item 3 and be able to kind of land on it. So Streamline really struggling there. He was doing some practice before we started the race, but he was really focusing heavily on the Wily stages, is what it looked like, because those, I would say, they are probably the most important stages for these races, just because of what you mentioned earlier, that you can have those huge time losses if you mess up there.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you have a limited amount of time to practice, the Wily stages are definitely where you want to be the most solid for races of this game.
So Ahmad picking up a pretty hefty lead to start here. Neither of them going for the time stopper strat, which allows you to conserve a little bit of health and be safe on Heatman. Heatman, of course, does a ton of damage if he hits you with his charge attack. They're both going to be doing this buffer strat where you're kind of jumping and anticipating what his full second or second and a half. And Ahmad getting hit there, so he can still take one more body shot, but anything beyond that, and he would be dead. He's got to be a little careful. Okay, he's in good shape.
That pattern didn't look too friendly. I think I saw a lot of 90s in there.
Yeah, wasn't looking great. Streamline getting a few 30s there. So Streamline may have caught up just a little bit in this fight, but overall it looks like he's probably a little over 10 seconds behind. Of course, we're going to be coming into another very dangerous stage. with Airman up next. Now, these guys will most likely be doing what we call like the baby air strat. It's supposed to be the easy version of this, but it's still a little bit nerve-wracking. You can still die doing this.
Yeah, I mean, just because it's called Granny Air doesn't make it any less nerve-wracking in a race. But we expect to see runners of this caliber be able to get through this first screen without taking a death. A lot of times the bigger worry, I think, for some players is if you bonk an extra Thunderlord here, then your health can be a little bit scary for the Airman fight, and then you're putting your life in Airman's hands.
Yeah, because he has 5 different patterns, and some of them are unavoidable. So, you know, if he wants to damage you 3 times, then that's what's going to happen. And Ahmad is up first here, so he's going to try to get this last little ledge jump. He's got it, so he is safely through. He's got plenty of health. He does... Oh, no, and Streamline with the death. Exactly what we were talking about. So now he's going to have a choice to make. He can either proceed through the stage, and it looks like he's gonna, well, he was gonna try, but he died again, so now he's probably gonna take an intentional game over. This is a costly death. This is high punish territory right here. We're talking about probably about 1.5 minutes minimum on this one.
I think it's like 45 seconds to 50 seconds.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not quite so bad, but that's still harmful. That's especially given that he had a little bit of a deficit already.
Yeah, we'll see. So Streamline maybe just kind of getting some of the nerves out here. It should be noted also that he is probably just starting out his day. Ahmad, meanwhile, has been practicing for quite a bit. So Ahmad is fully warmed up, whereas Streamline might still kind of just be in that warm-up phase.
Let's see how Ahmad's fight goes here.
Yeah, it's looking good. He's going to take Airman down, and not the greatest pattern, but he's able to dispose of him. Streamline, meanwhile, did make it through that second time.
Yeah, he got a really nice wiggle despawn on the first enemy there.
So he's in great shape with his health here. That's not going to be a concern in the Airman fight. And now we're going to see some tricks. We've got the level of runner that we're going to be showing you now from here on out in the tournament. Most of these people are going to be going for Biggie, and most of them are fairly consistent with it too.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy where this game is at in 2018. Just the level of consistency people have with this first screen zip is insane to me.
It's pretty nuts. Streamline having a really nice Airman fight here.
Oof, that was beautiful.
Really great kill. Ahmad did not get it. He did not get it, so that is going to cost him maybe about 10 to 12 seconds. Oh, and he's having a little bit more of a struggle, losing more time. Streamline going to have an opportunity to catch up here. This is a really big time loss. This is one of those situations that we talked about that Ahmad may not be as well prepared for. He does finally manage to get that second screen zip set up, but he's really short on item 1. He's going to have to conserve that properly for later in the stage, and he is just going to lose time in the second half of the stage, not having enough item 1.
Yeah, that's definitely part of a little bit of the break that Streamline needs to try to catch up.
Absolutely, yeah.
See if he can nail this first screen zip here.
This is his opportunity. He's got out the item 1, so he is going for it. Looks like a good setup. Got it.
Beautiful.
There it is. So Streamline instantly gaining probably about 20 to 30 seconds just on that alone.
Yeah, that first screen zip is no joke. It's very difficult to pull off, so nice to see Streamline get it there.
Nice to see Ahmad also recovering well. He's having a good climb despite having got himself in trouble earlier there. That can definitely affect your mindset for the rest of the stage, because this stage is no joke. I mean, you see runners are pretty consistent with that climb, but it's not that easy. So Ahmad's going to be the first one heading into the boss fight here, and you're going to see him do a quick shot to the left. That's going to manipulate Clashman to immediately jump towards you, and then you have to react very quickly to get a double, meaning your next air shooter wants to hit him twice. He gets that and then finishes him off. Very nice fight.
Yep, very good. And we see Streamline has definitely closed the gap here as he's just upon the fight now.
Yeah, he's approaching the fight, and then Ahmad is going to be heading into quick, where this is another stage where some very, very dangerous things can happen. You know, you of course have the soft lock, and this is something Ahmad mentioned being a little bit concerned about. He said he was not super comfortable with his jump wiggles. And as we see Streamline getting a nice kill, and that, you know, he kind of had joked about, like, I hope I don't soft lock in the race. And
I hope he was joking.
I do too. He looked really clean on it every time I saw him, but
Sure.
It's one of those things where it's just like one little iota of difference in how you move your thumb can mean that you'll do a 2-tile wiggle and boom, you're past the door of your soft lock. So you really, really got to be careful here.
Yeah, the 1-tile wiggles are something you want to have a lot of... Ooh, that's not quite right.
No, but a nice oh man, he had a good backup placement there, but he wasn't able to get far enough under the ceiling. So Streamline, that's probably about another 7 or 8 seconds that Streamline can gain if he manages to get a good zip setup. So maybe now, you know, Streamline had some nerves in the beginning, but now he's playing catch up, and Ahmad seems to be having some nerves at this point.
I know Ahmad has worked on a different technique for his 1-tile wiggles, where I think he was using both thumbs. Ooh, Streamline having some trouble with that first zip as well.
Wow. So Streamline actually triggered it early. His trigger is messed up, and he's very low on item 1. He really needs to hit this trigger. He does, thank goodness. He's down to just 2 item 1, so he's going to have to actually A-trigger the final zip of this stage, and he's going to have to remember that. It's not something you think about, you know, but it's like a small detail.
Yeah. Ahmad, with a great zip there, stops 1 tile early and safely wiggles in.
Great
what a
fight.
Wow.
Incredible.
That was a beauty.
To note, Ahmad did pick up an extra life there. Streamline did not. So when we get to Woodman, it's going to get a little tense for Streamline. And now he has to remember this A-trigger for the zip.
No.
He triggered it too early. So Streamline, you know, he's at least not going to soft lock. We know that much, but definitely falling far behind. And we see Ahmad heading into Woodman. He has that buffer 1 up. So when he goes for dog scrolls, he can rest comfortably knowing that there's absolutely no way that he's going to game over or anything like that. He's got the buffer life in case things go bad.
Yeah, I didn't see... Streamline didn't pick up a life, did he?
He did not. So he is going to be in a different situation. Ahmad, I think he might have actually gotten 2 1-ups.
I think just 1. I saw the one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. My mistake. And he gets the first dog scroll. Having some uncomfortable wiggles here. He does manage to get through the second one. And he is through dog scroll, so no problem there, although they weren't the cleanest. So again, that's going to be another opportunity for Streamline to gain some time. Slight route divergence here. Streamline prefers to go metal before wood, and Ahmad, of course, doing wood before metal. So we're not going to know exactly the gap between our runners probably until another 3-4 minutes from now.
Sure. Really nice first setup for Streamline there in metal. Got that item 1 pretty snug against the ceiling.
Let's see if he does go for the second zip. But he does very clean there. He does the two item 1 placement, which is difficult, but it makes sure that you get a very tight placement and get into the ceiling quickly. So good wood for Ahmad. He's through. He's got to be feeling pretty happy about that. To note, he is actually going to go for some of the harder strats, which I think Streamline may not, in most specifically the item 2 zip in bubble. That is one that not every player is going to be going for that one.
Yeah, Ahmad says he doesn't even know how to do the other. He's only ever done the item 2 zip.
He's not even going to attempt metal blades. He had some concerns about his mashing, as we see Streamline with a very nice kill on Metal Man. So nice metal stage there by Streamline.
Yeah, that was a beauty. That's got to be pretty close to his goal. Well, I don't know. Maybe he does the conveyor zip in his gold or something, but that was a sweet stage.
Really strong stuff. So now it's going to be on Ahmad to try to match and have a good metal. Metal, one of the kind of easier stages in the game. You know, you have 1 to 2 zips to set up, and then a long item 2 fly in a very easy boss fight. So it's kind of a nice little lull in the action between wood and bubble are not the easiest stages. So it's nice to have that break. And Ahmad does not get stuck in metal jail, thankfully, so he's going to be proceeding, and we have Streamline coming up here. Let's see, is he going for flash strats, or is he going for dog scrolls? I would imagine dog scrolls. He actually goes for flash strats, okay.
It's always interesting to see what people bust out for races.
So that actually, it makes sense now that because he didn't pick up that 1-up earlier, you don't need the 1-up if you're going to do the flash strat, because there's really, no way that you're going to have a death from over-zipping a dog scroll. So Streamline actually not going to lose too much time because of that, just for how Ahmad's dog scrolls were. Ahmad's dog scrolls, he had a lot of wiggle. Streamline might actually even gain a little bit of time on Ahmad. It's possible. The difference between dog scrolls and not dog scrolls, if you do dog scrolls optimally, is 5 seconds, but that's if you hit every single scroll perfectly and then get the extended, the extended scroll at the end as well.
Yeah, it's looking like their metal and wood stages have been pretty similar. So not going to be a huge time shift there.
Yeah, good wood for Streamline. He's through. So now Ahmad, this is actually going to be, I think, an opportunity for Streamline to catch up a little bit. I am anticipating Streamline is not going to go for item 2 zip, so the onus is really going to be on Ahmad to make sure he gets the item 2 zip first try or second try in order to break even. Anything worse than second try, then you're losing time. So we're going to have to see how it goes. He had some struggles with it in some of his runs, but he said he's very, very consistent with it. He's pretty comfortable with it, so he might be extending his lead here too. That's a very good possibility.
Yeah, and then we'll see what Streamline chooses to do. It would be really strange to cut out dog scrolls, but not cut out item 2 zip.
Agreed, and he does bust out the item 2, so we know he's not going to be doing zip later in the stage, and Ahmad is up, going to go for it right here.
Beautiful.
First try, he's got it, so he's going to pick up another 3 seconds or so, I believe, is what that saves. And he's on into bubble, so he's just hoping for a 1 or 2 bubble pattern to avoid that massive lag that the 3 bubble pattern causes. And if he does that, he is most certainly going to have a sub 17 here if he gets a good enough fight.
Yeah, this has been a very solid 8 robots.
And he gets a 2 bubble, so he's done. And yeah, so Streamline, I think, he's recovered reasonably well from all the bad things that have happened, and he's still in contention in this race. Remember, these are best out of 3, so this is only the very first game out of those 3, and we still have a lot to play. Wily stages are where things can get really, really crazy.
Yeah, you wanna at least be within within one big mistake in Wily, and Streamline's managed to do that.
He has, yeah. He's going to be within, it looks like, about 40 seconds or so.
Yeah, Ahmad's still very capable of a 27 in this race.
Absolutely, yeah. He's on that kind of pace, and he has, again, he's a top player, so he has very, very good Wily stages. He's capable. He's going to do all the tricks. So, busting out the item 2. And I don't think anybody's really taking, there's a kind of a safer approach where you can like save 1 tick of item 2 for just in case you mess up later, but most people are pretty confident in terms of just being able to make that placement high enough as Ahmad comes up to it here, and he does get a nice high placement. So item 1 zip, number 1. Let's see the setup. Looks good. So he is going to get that. Now, he's going to be a little cautious here. I did see during some of his practice, he's making sure that he's not too high up on the screen there. Streamline tends to be a little more aggressive in those situations, as we saw in the marathon. He really tries to cut it tight with that stuff, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him.
Ooh, speaking of cutting it tight, that third item 1 just a little too high.
A little too high. So I'm going to bring something up now. So I have spoken to Ahmad, and he is not screen watching, so he doesn't know that Streamline has had all these struggles. And I think if he had had the benefit of that knowledge, he may have just foregone that zip, because that zip, if you hit it, it saves about 3 seconds. If you miss it, you lose 20 seconds plus. So it's one of those risk-reward situations where like it may not actually be worth it with this much of a lead. I think it's just a pass. But again, Ahmad doesn't know that. Streamline, I'm not sure if he's screen watching or not. I wasn't able to get a hold of him on an answer for that, but he hits it, so he is going to pick up a good chunk.
Yeah, and it's possible, even if you choose not to screen watch, that someone in your chat will fill you in too.
True.
Especially for like a major death, like Streamline took an error. That's something that might get shared with you, and then you're almost a minute ahead.
Very true. But we don't know if he's chat watching either. He might just have everything shut down.
Could be.
All
just
he's
in the
got
dark.
up is race bot for done. That's it. That's like the whole screen. Yeah, I mean, some people they just really want to focus, and I think it's just a personal preference thing of like, you know, what do you feel comfortable with? How are you gonna perform the best? And we see Ahmad now has to pick up that extra item 1 in order to make sure that he has enough for later on as he approaches this first sip in Wily 2. This one's always a little scary because if you place that item 1 too high,
Wow.
he barely gets it.
Very nice.
Very tight setup there by Ahmad. If he had placed that item 1 about a pixel or 2 higher, we might be having a completely different race here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm impressed by how good that setup was under the circumstances.
Yeah, that's one you would think that people might back off just a little bit on, you know, let me not make it the highest placement possible. Streamline with a good placement as well, and he's cleanly into the ceiling. So Ahmad having not the greatest luck in the hallway there, some drops, but he has plenty of leaf shield afterwards. Having to use some extra ones, it's not as bad. If he was getting health drops there, that might have put him in a bit of a precarious situation, but he's fine. So let's see if Streamline can pick up even more time with a perfect hallway.
Looking good so far. Beautiful.
Great hallway. Great hallway.
You saw the one up to get zipped off screen.
Yeah, don't need that one up at this point, man. What he needs is to just execute really, really well and hope for just a couple mistakes here and there from Ahmad, and he's right back in this thing. I mean, we still have Wily 4, 5, and 6. Those are all very dangerous stages.
Yeah, he still needs, I mean, either a bunch of small mistakes or one fairly big one.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of mistakes that can happen in Wily 4 and a lot of varieties of mistakes that cost like small, medium, and large amounts of time. Wily 5 mistakes, you know, it should be noted that Ahmad, again, because of not screen watching, he does not know, like, I had this discussion with him, you know, about picking up health. Having the lead that he has, it would be nice to know that, because then when he gets to Wily 5, if he maintains this lead, he'd be able to just pick up the health and not have any fear at all. But he's going to have to kind of just figure that out for himself now.
What's
so
this
I guess this
here?
is
like about 30 seconds? 25 maybe?
Looks like it. No Sava pings whatsoever, so no fishies. Sorry, everybody in the chat. We know you're all hoping for as many fish as possible. That is the hot new meme in this tournament.
Yeah, these tournaments always spawn the weirdest memes.
And let's see, any fishies for Streamline? No. This is a no fish tournament. These guys are. This is too serious. Okay, guys, we're in the round of 16 now. We don't have time for MS Paint fish coming on the screen.
Yeah, Fishman's not going to appear in the credits for this run.
All right, so let's see how Ahmad's mashing is. He's on the guts tank and a nice clean 4 jump. So Streamline catch up a little bit if he gets a 3 jump here. Just maybe that half second. That every little bit counts. And Ahmad heading into Purple Hell.
Yeah, Wily 4, one of the busiest stages. If you're gonna throw away a 25-second lead, that's usually where it's gonna start.
This is the place it can happen, no question about it. So Ahmad, he's gonna elect to take a pass on both of those item refills. He has just enough item 1 to get through. Nice clean zip over the Met there. Nice item 3 placement. Second item 3 placement is good. And third item 3 placement. Oh, and even going for that one as well. So I don't think Streamline goes for that. That's like a free second he just got there.
Yeah, I think he got stuck on the item 3 a little bit there. Had to wait for it to despawn. So I'm not sure if that one was clean enough to save time.
Not a full time save. All right, so Ahmad actually adapting his strats. I had seen in earlier times he was not taking the damage there. He may be concerned because of his item 1 count. Streamline missed the zip. That is going to be costly. So
nice backup.
Yeah, nice backup there. Streamline really now kind of depending on Ahmad having death at this point, like or over zipping, Or maybe running out of clash bombs might be another situation. I don't know if Ahmad's completely familiar with what to do if he's completely out of clash bombs against Wily Machine. But these are kind of the things that StreamLine needs to happen at this point. So Ahmad taking it very safe here. Doesn't want to overzip. He's in.
Jeez, that's so scary to watch.
Right, and a very nice entry zip there, so he is not going to fall down and have to use additional item 1. That's another thing that could have happened.
Ooh,
too high of a placement there. So he's going to be short 1 crash bomb, but that's not the end of the world. StreamLine about to enter the fight himself. Wow!
What the heck was that?
2-tile. StreamLine may be screen watching. Maybe he knows he's behind. He's like, all right, I just got to hit this door somehow real quick. Let's
Pulling out all the stops, man.
He's pulling it out. So we're on into refight. So this is that exact situation that I mentioned. If Ahmad knew what the situation was, then he could easily pick up multiple health drops and not be concerned about StreamLine taking a lead. But he doesn't know. So what is he going to do? He's taking on Quickman first. This is a fight where you can take significant damage, and he takes a body shot right off the bat. Oof. Boomerang shot. It's a fast fight, but he... oh no, he missed the air shot. He's going for a Prizzy strat there. So he's a little low on health. This is lower than you'd like to be. I'd like to see him pick up his health here. And he does not.
That's an interesting decision here.
He's putting himself in danger. I actually saw him take a death against Woodman last night. Let's hope he avoids that fate this time. Oh boy.
He's going to grab his health,
dangerous.
Right? Okay.
Okay, he gets the health this time. So now, if Airman is not friendly, he might take another 12 damage right here. And StreamLine having a little bit of struggle against Clash there.
What a pattern.
Nice pattern there. So he's...
Uh-oh. Get the second phase he wanted.
Okay, but he's still okay. He cannot take damage against Heatman here. Absolutely cannot. And StreamLine having a nice wood fight there.
I think Body Shot would put him at 2 health.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks good. But he doesn't get that health either, so he's really cutting it tight here. This is an interesting strategy by Ahmad, and StreamLine going to go ahead and take that health. So StreamLine with the health advantage, a bubble hit from Bubbleman. So you got to get the flash health here. I mean, Ahmad only has 1 crash bomb. He cannot afford to go into the fight without more health than this. He's dead if he does.
Right, exactly. If you do the fight correctly with 1 crash bomb, ooh, this is interesting.
Oh, and that was almost lucky because that basically forced him to get the health drop. He was maybe not going to get it, and he got it because of that. So now he's probably in good enough shape that he is not going to die. So he's got the 1 clash bomb. Oh, he misses it though.
Okay, so he's gonna...
opportunity.
What's
he going to switch to Heat? No, he's going to switch to Buster. So, okay, he knows that you can dodge these shots in Phase 1 pretty easily. And StreamLine is about to take the lead if he does not miss that Clash Bomb, I think. I think he will, well, maybe not the lead, but he's going to be very close. And StreamLine going Phase 1.
So, but he's got to wait for the machine to come all the way. Oh, okay, I see.
He does. But that's, oh my goodness. Okay, now we are just neck and neck. So StreamLine has closed the gap. Ahmad kind of just didn't know how to handle that situation. And let's see, he appears in Wily 6 at about 56.
I think we're looking at about 5 seconds here.
5 seconds. So this could be the difference here. It could be like if one of them misses the right side kill, that may be all it takes, like a bad zip setup. And we know Ahmad's a little uncomfortable with the wiggles right now. He's going to be taking these wiggles pretty slow. StreamLine, I think, is going to go aggressive. Let's see. Okay, Ahmad very far away. StreamLine.
No!
Oh no, he zipped it.
And StreamLine's in. Wow.
StreamLine is in. This race has been unreal. So StreamLine now has to just close out the alien. Just don't hug the alien, and he has stolen game 1 if he can successfully take down alien right now.
Learn your 1-tile wiggles, kids at home. Okay. First phase for the alien there. And he's got
that is game 1. This has just been a stunning reversal here with StreamLine coming from behind. He just kind of hung around. And then Ahmad, I mean, just probably some nerves. Again, doing those wiggles, those tile wiggles is kind of what he was scared about. And it is indeed what got him. So, wow.
Unbelievable race. Wow, we still got a... Oh
no! I think Ahmad he's probably just he's a little tilted right now at this point. He's got to be besides himself. I mean, even with not screen watching, he knows. I mean, I'm sure he's at least got the SRL race spot up, and so he knows that he lost what would have been a very close one there.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. But yeah, best of 3, you have a chance to come back and redeem yourself. Hopefully he takes whatever time he needs to compose himself and come back strong for game 2.
Yeah, I think it would be wise to take a little break in between and not just go right back into it. The mindset is very, very important for this game. You really have to be in a good place when you play this game because it can tilt you very, very quickly and very easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get so many difficult stages in a row there.
Yeah.
GG.
Good fight there. So Ahmad closes it out. So it's crazy to see. I mean, we were expecting like these guys to just be busting out 27s, and then it's like we have this amazing race, and then Streamline wins it with a high 28. So anything can happen in this game is the moral of the story. Like it doesn't matter how good your PB is. Wily stages can do some serious damage.
Yeah, races in this game are just truly never over, and that's more true now in the elimination round than it's ever been. As you know, the level of competition is getting closer and tighter, and the smaller the amount of stakes. The smaller the mistakes that are needed for someone to catch up.
It is, and this actually, as we mentioned at the outset, this is a top 16 match. So there's actually several matches that need to take place before the full top 16 is determined. But this is one of the matches that was determined, and these guys elected to just go ahead and play it. They were like, you know what? We don't need to wait around. We've been playing. Let's go ahead and get it on. So the winner of this match is going to face the winner of Cypher and whoever comes out on top of Colonel Fatso and Llama Pals. They're set to play tomorrow night, and the winner of that match, of course, gets Cypher, and then the winner of that will get the winner of this.
Man, imagine that being your prize for winning this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you win this, congratulations. Good chance you get to play Cypher. But you never know. I mean, anything can, like we just saw, literally anything can happen in these races. These guys are both super, super consistent. So to think that anybody is safe, even Cypher or Cool Kid or anybody, like anybody can just have a bad Wily 4. It can happen.
Yeah, no, it's definitely true. And we just see from this race, we have 2 really strong runners who have low 27s. I mean, there are only, 2 26s in this tournament. So, otherwise, we're mostly dealing with low 27s. And when you see a race that's a high 28 versus a 30, I mean, it tells you what we're going to see in this elimination round. Yeah,
we're going to see excitement. We're going to see, you never know what's happening until it happens. You never know what's coming. No race is over until that final hit on the alien has been landed. So, all right, these guys are going to take a quick moment to kind of compose themselves. We can talk a little bit about the rest of the tournament. We have gotten through the group stages, so we are now into the bracket stages. And I believe we have, I want to say, 22 players remaining. So that's going to be whittled down to the top 16. And then from there, I mean, at this point in the tournament, we just have a slew of really, really strong players. I think we have like probably 14 players that have 27s or something like that.
Sounds about right.
So you're going to be seeing a lot of really, really strong matchups from here on out. And we can see Ahmad, he wants to practice those wiggles, and I don't blame him one bit. Perfect, of course. So this is what always happens, right, Pasta?
Yeah, I mean, you could just crash the door there, too, if you don't want to deal with wiggles. I mean,
as soon as you make a mistake and then go practice it, you just hit it like a god every single time. It's guaranteed.
Yeah, guaranteed. If you've speedrun for any length of time, you know that feeling.
Yeah, so, but hopefully that's good enough to kind of reset his confidence, put him in a good place for this second race, because he's going to need it. You know, he pretty much threw out, and just, Wily 6, it's never over till it's over.
Yeah, this is something I mentioned in previous broadcasts, but like one-tile wiggles are just something you really want to have a lot of confidence in for the tournament. You have to do them in so many high-pressure situations in the race, and failing any of them is almost catastrophic.
And there's actually a very safe strat that I don't think the majority of runners in the tournament know in doing a one-tile wiggle, which is, I would say, foolproof. what you can do is, in order to wiggle, for those of you that don't know, you press A, which puts you in the air, and that gives you a little bit of a buffer, because a wiggle normally has to be just like a left-right press for one frame each. But by pressing A, it gives you a little bit of a buffer to do that left-right press. And what you can actually do is, if you jump and press left, Mega Man will begin his walking animation. And once he's in that walking animation, you have even more of a buffer to press right before you would overzip. So if you wanted to be really safe, you just hold left until you see that walking animation, press right. Mega Man will kind of be stuck in that walking animation, so there's almost no way that you can go more than a tile doing it in that way. It's a little slower, of course, but if you're in a situation where you're like, I really don't want to go past this zip, that's the way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something you should definitely know for a tournament.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, with being newer to the game, and just not having to be in a lot of these situations, most of the people that play Rockman 2 have been just doing strictly RTAs, you know, and then they do their tournament matches, but this isn't a game that's been like really, really heavily raced. Outside of, I would say, like you and Prizzy and maybe a few other people that have been kind of grinding some races, people don't have as much experience with no resets.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, in any game, I think you probably want to develop some race strats that are a little bit different than what you would do in RTA. But yeah, in this game in particular, there's a lot of different options you have for some safety, and then even more so if you know that you have a big lead. But you can get so comfortable with strats that you do all the time that if you have safe strats that you haven't practiced much, that can be even more dangerous. And I think a lot of people go with that mentality.
I agree with you. Yeah, you know, you do kind of have to go with what you're comfortable with, but I think it's important, like you said, to develop those other safety strats that you kind of know and that you can feel good about, and implement it at important times, because there's definitely a lot of critical junctures, and we're at one of them right now, this Flashman fight. This is where StreamLine had kind of gotten behind the first time. Both of them nailing the fight this
beautiful
time.
Yeah.
So now we have a close race. Yeah, close race right off the bat this time.
But yeah, I know, I think it was a couple weeks ago that Ahmad has been a little shaky on his one-tile wiggles for a while now. And he decided to just completely switch to bringing his right thumb over. And rather than jump wiggling, he's doing a left-right wiggle where he tries to time it with his left and right thumbs, which, I mean, I guess it does give you a bit more control, rather than having to bring your left thumb across the D-pad, but still, without the jump there, you're not having as much control over Mega Man there.
Right. Yeah, you're definitely putting yourself in harm's way. Everybody has to like develop these things that they're comfortable with. There's different styles of doing almost every little thing in this game, and just kind of having that subtle confidence to where you're not even thinking about it and you're not worried about it. But he's not there yet, and I've experienced that too. You know, when I first started running this game, the wiggles were something that were really tough. So I totally get it. Streamline overthrowing there. So Ahmad is catching up. He gets the item 3 throw, and we are synced.
Look at that.
Let's see if Streamline, he didn't bother to practice in between. This might have been something he wanted to practice, but he gets it. Gets the item 3 drop.
Yeah, he just kind of got in a bad rhythm after missing it the first time.
Yeah,
in the last race.
It's so
hard
easy
to recover from, especially if you haven't practiced it specifically.
Yeah, it's a weird spot to try to recover from. Both of these guys, taking blocks fairly aggressively. We don't see them, backing off or taking it too slow. And again, we know that they're not going to go for the flash strat intentionally, and neither of them miss menu. So yeah, it's
still in sync.
Going to come down to heat.
Whew.
Who's going to get lucky?
Yeah, we'll get to see the difference in the patterns right here.
So again, 30, 60, and 90 frames are the delays that Heatman can do, and it's equal between all 3 delays. I do believe that the long delay is actually 33.34% instead of 33.33%.
Oh, is that right?
Well, that's what Cypher said, I think. So I'm gonna go with that. But he might have just said that because he was salty of getting a lot of 90s at some point. Not recently. He certainly hasn't been too many 90s recently. But Streamline taking a hit, so he's gonna have to back it off there, and he is gonna wisely, in my opinion, just kind of take the rest of this fight safely. And we can see Ahmad finishing the fight off and Streamline right behind. So Ahmad gaining that lead, and I think that was because the unintentional damage that Streamline took, he kind of had to back off and fight.
Sure. Let me ask you a question. Do you, in a best-of-3 situation, do you have a different mentality or a different feeling, whether you're up 1-0 or down 1-0? Like, say you're in a closely contested, you know, where you're pretty even with your opponent.
I think you're always just a little bit more comfortable when you're up 1-0. You don't feel like your back is against the wall. You know that you cannot be eliminated in this game specifically, and that tends to lead to better play sometimes, in my opinion, because you just feel more comfortable. But we'll see what happens for these guys. I mean, again, Streamline has got to be thinking about what happened last time in Airman, so he's probably a little nervous right now.
Sure. Yeah, I think some people have different mentalities where, you know, yeah, sometimes like you say, if you're looser, it leads to better play. And some people need to have their backs pushed up against the wall and it sharpens their focus a little bit. Ooh, nice wiggle from Ahmad there.
Yeah, he got the despawn. I think he had gotten it last time too, or one of our players did.
Oh no!
Oh, and it's Ahmad's time to fall. So Ahmad, with how much item 1 lost, he is most definitely going to take the 2 deaths at the front here. You can see he immediately switches to heat to shorten that death animation. Streamline did make it through and with plenty of health. So now we see the exact reverse of what happened in game 1. Ahmad is going to be playing from behind, and Streamline is going to have the lead.
That's unfortunate. You never want to see runners die here. It's just such a punishing death, and it's so early in the run. But as we saw last time, like it's definitely a deficit that can be made up.
No question about it. And yeah, you hate to see it, like you said, but I mean, this is really probably the first high-profile race of our tournament. A lot of, you know, the way the seeding played out, most of the time there was a reasonable favorite. This is the first time where people literally could not decide when they were doing the predictions for who was going to win this bracket. Like, this was one of the ones that people were really, really divided on, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're the closest seeds in the elimination round, like you said, 8 and 9. So yeah, it's definitely supposed to be the closest match, and these runners are very close in skill level. But I know in the prediction bracket, I think Ahmad got a little bit more support than Streamline, just because we've seen Ahmad streaming so much.
Yeah,
I think that was kind of the logic between a lot of for a lot of people choosing Ahmad, but Streamline is right now.
I think you're right, and I think that, you know, people had seen that, but you can't sleep on Streamline, man. When he was at AGDQ, and people don't get to see this, but in the practice room, I mean, he was just turning out 27s. I raced him a couple times, he kicked my butt. It was like 27, see it. Yeah. So he's got that consistency down really well, and Ahmad thankfully getting through air this second time, so he's got just enough health to survive this. Just don't touch Airman. Good, got to the corner.
Yeah, and Streamline has the tournament experience too, because he was Final 4 in the Mega Man 1 tournament.
That's true. Yeah, he's kind of been here before, and let's see if he gets Biggie again. Looking strong, gets it for the second time, so even more pressure on Ahmad. See, now this is a time where I think it's actually good that Ahmad is not screen watching, because you don't want to see how well Streamline is doing right now. That'd be like a little demoralizing. Then you're just like, oh god, how am I ever going to catch up in this?
Yep. You have to remember how the last one went. I mean, when I'm in this situation that Ahmad is in, I think, okay, well, Streamline got a 28-47, and I can still beat 28-47.
That's a great way to think about it. Yeah, that's the kind of attitude that you have to have. You have to think of, you know, a way in which you win, and envision a way that you are winning the race.
Because you can't control what your opponent's going to do from there on.
No, and Ahmad actually missed that. He didn't get the trigger at the spot that he wanted, so he's going for the backup trigger, and I think he's just probably not as familiar with that one, so he is going to have to do this backup strat, which thankfully he knows, so he is going to go ahead and get to the checkpoint. But this is another hefty time loss here by missing Biggie. It shows you how much of a punish it can be.
Yeah, probably drops about 10 seconds there.
Yeah, at least. He's also short an item 1, I believe. He kind of got an extra item 1 dropped in there somehow. I'm not sure exactly what happened. So he needs to be mindful of that, and he's not. So he doesn't realize, but he's going to be short. So he'll have to wait here. And now he sees that he was short that item 1. So Streamline out of Clash at a pretty nice pace here.
Yeah, I didn't see what that was, but it's got to be like low 27.
It was like a 907. I think it was a
Okay.
907 teleport out. So that, I mean, that's really solid for a race. I mean, this, you know, this level of play, you see guys coming out there with sub 9 sometimes even. But yeah, 907 is strong, and there's the one up. So Streamline may be adjusting his strategy this time. Does he get that one up because he wants to go for dog scrolls, or does he get it because he's screen watching and he sees, okay, I'm this far ahead of a mod. I just need to not have something really dumb happen to me. Let me get this one up just in case.
Yeah, I mean, really interesting when you see someone switch their strats between game 1 and 2. You always wonder what goes through their mind.
So this is the perilous zip setup that caused both of our players a lot of problems, but Streamline nailing it this time. No issues.
Yeah, he's cruising right now. Sometimes you just get into a flow and everything starts to feel a little bit easier.
Yeah, that does happen. You just feel good in this game, but then you'll make like one mistake, and then you're like your confidence gets chipped away at slowly, and then you're like, oh no.
Yeah, it doesn't take much for that to turn on you. It's also interesting since there's 2 1-ups in this stage. I think we're going to see Ahmad get the one during the... Ooh, actually, because he's short of life, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he game over.
Oh, he did. That's right. That's
I
right.
think he's okay. So Streamline
yeah,
does get into the corridor there, so no soft lock for Streamline. That was one of the ways that Ahmad could have basically taken the lead. That has been negated, so let's see if Ahmad gets a really nice setup this time. Zip trigger is good. Meanwhile, Streamline having a pretty good fight against Quick there. Not the best pattern ever, but he handled it very well. So he's, again, on a really, really strong pace here.
Yeah, that's really solid. But then we're gonna see Ahmad get the other 1-up during the fall, which is a faster 1-up to pick up. But a lot of people are a little bit nervous to grab that one.
Yeah, it's a little more dangerous. It's not too hard for those of you watching at home, but certainly in more high-stakes situations, you get a little nervous. You might get stuck on that platform, and all of a sudden the laser's killing you.
Ahmad triggered early.
Maybe for the best with how his been going. So
I was going to say it, but I didn't want to be the guy, so I'm glad you said it.
Oh, I'm that guy. Don't worry. But yeah, so Ahmad we know is not going to soft block there. Streamline could, however, soft block if he triggers this zip too early. Let's hope not. He doesn't, but he does get knocked back, so he's going to have to take that little bit of damage there. And still a solid metal stage, though, as Ahmad finishes off Quick Man. Yeah, this is going to be the kind of situation where Streamline's going to have something go badly in wood. And, you know, if he is screen watching, like, are you ever going for dog scrolls in this situation? Or are you just like, I'm ahead by 30 seconds, I'm going to just do flash strats?
I don't know. If I'm in Streamline's position, I think I'd still do dog scrolls.
Just for the comfort level?
Yeah, it's just what I know. I haven't done the flash strat in a while. But he did it in the last race, and he did it well, so...
Yeah, so it's going to be, I would say for him, it would be, I'd be surprised if he all of a sudden switched it up and decided to go for dog scrolls.
Yeah,
But Ahmad, it's like he is definitely going for it.
The risk is not that high if you have the 1-up. You can only lose so much time there, but...
Yeah, if you overzip the first screen, then you're looking at about a 7-second time loss. If you overzip the second screen, that's the biggest time loss, and then overzipping the third screen doesn't matter. So Ahmad does manage to make it through. He probably, that was a little bit better than last time.
Yeah,
so
he got the extended zip at the end, which is really nice.
So yeah, if Streamline does again elect to go flash, Ahmad will gain that little bit of time there, which is nice. Alright, moment of truth.
I'm imagining flash here.
Oh, Streamline switching it up. What's going on here?
Man.
Streamline opening the door to bad things happening.
When he's behind, he goes with flash. When he's ahead, is that an overzip?
And I think a bad thing has happened. A bad thing has happened. Streamline, let's hope, knows how to get out of this situation. He's got to take a death. Oh no, Streamline. Oh boy. This is problematic here. So, yeah, he wants to go down to that screen, so he'll zip and fall in this pit.
Okay. I was hoping he knew. I imagine he had to.
So now he will spawn at the checkpoint. Thankfully, he got that one up, so that was his intention, as he said, I'm getting this one up, I'm going for it. I would venture to say he is not screen watching by that. I mean, if he knew he was that far ahead and still decided to go for the tougher strat when he was already going for flash, that'd be something interesting. So he lost more than 7. I said it was 7 seconds for the first screen. He definitely lost more than 7 seconds there. So still a strong lead for him, but not quite so comfortable anymore.
Yeah, that was a perplexing decision. I'd be curious to hear Streamline's rationale for.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get interviews. I'm really hoping we get interviews here.
Not even just that he went for the dog scrolls there, but that he flashed it the first time.
Yeah,
the fact that that's a really interesting one. But,
I mean, he may have thought, like, you know what, I was behind all that first race, and I need to be faster. That's the only way that I'm seeing it be logical. But
yeah,
again, still a pretty solid lead. I mean, that game over is just one of the most costly things that can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. He's still in the driver's seat. You just gotta shake that off and get back to it.
He is, however, on Z, which does mean that, you know, any death could become very costly. Outside of the Wily 2 death, most deaths become pretty punishing at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're doing the route through Bubble that Streamline is, this is kind of a breather stage, or it should be. If you B-trigger the zip at the bottom, you got to make sure you don't do that too early, especially on 0 lives.
Yeah, you don't want to hit those spikes.
But otherwise, this gives you a little bit of time to recompose yourself before the Wily stages. Beautiful placement.
And no spikes, so Streamline is on Team B-trigger, and he has survived, so... Again, Ahmad will save a little bit of time if he manages to nail this item 2 zip again in Bubble, but being almost a full stage behind at this point, it's going to come down to one of those situations in late Wily stages is what Ahmad needs at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting that Ahmad goes straight to item 1 there and doesn't kill the first frog. I know he doesn't have faith in his mashing.
I think that's why.
Yeah, you get a little bit of extra lag from the frogs by doing it that way, I think. But this strat saves so little time. It's tough to have something like that eat into it.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful placement. I agree there too.
But I think Ahmad is in a situation where he just decided to go like all out when he was first learning the game. So he learned, you know, he never even learned the other alternate strat here. He just learned item 2 zip right away and never switched it up. So Streamline with a really, really nice 8 robots time there. He is definitely on a strong 27 pace this time around.
Yep. Ahmad 2 for 2 on the item 2 zip.
Very nice. So Ahmad gonna keep himself in range, just like last time. That's all you have to do. Just keep yourself within striking distance and wish tragedy on your opponent. Oh, the dreaded 3 bubble though. That's gonna cause some lag.
What a jerk.
He always seems to do that.
This must be 33.34%.
Well said. All right, so Streamline going to have his opportunity at Wily this time. He had a really nice Wily one last time. Missing either of these zips is definitely a significant time loss, so it's kind of a area that can make you a little bit nervous. Let's see how he does.
That was a good recovery there.
Mm-hmm. He took it really nice and slow. Yeah,
the first item 1 was higher than he wanted it to be, and he didn't land on it right away. And so a lot of times, like, it's just a different muscle memory to set up the zip from there. But Streamline was very patient and got the item 1s exactly where he wanted them.
All right, zip number 2 setup looks good, just barely. Again, you have to place those item 1s very far apart in order to get into the ceiling there. Yeah,
shows his comfort level, I guess, with this game and his experience that he knew that item 1 wasn't going to despawn because it was close.
That was a close one. I might not have been. I might have been for the latter at that point.
yeah. If you're not sure, obviously you don't want the item 1 to despawn and fall. So,
I mean, it's a 1 pixel difference.
Beautiful setup from Ahmad there. He gets the instant push up.
And Streamline did not kiss the dragon, so he's going to be advancing to Wily 2. Meanwhile, Ahmad, can he get the second zip this time? He had missed it the first time. A little bit high on the ladder, wisely pushes himself down, and very nice placements there. Yeah. So he is on into the ceiling, and a great, great Wily one by Ahmad this time around.
Yeah, he should be picking up some time on Streamline here.
For sure.
Unfortunately, it's not enough.
No, that's kind of that small time gain, but it will add up. You know, it could add up at the end because, as you saw in the last race, you know, if Ahmad hadn't actually over-zipped the door, it would have been really interesting to see, you know, who won. It would have been super, super tight. So that, you know, that little bit of time, can make the difference. StreamLine was successful zip.
Nice. Yeah, a strong Wily one for Ahmad.
Yeah, so as you said, though, StreamLine firmly into the driver's seat at this point. If he can avoid major mistakes, then it is going to be incredibly difficult for Ahmad to take the lead. And another nice hallway for StreamLine, and he even is able to switch to that item 3 to avoid the drop pickup animation, so he's not going to lose time there. Nice, yeah,
heads up play from StreamLine there. Drops in this game are twice as long as later Mega Man games, so anything you can do to avoid picking them up is going to be for your benefit.
And we see a double pause there from Ahmad, that he wasn't going to get enough of an extension. That's why you see runners pause there, not just to switch to item 2, but also because that does extend your zip just a little bit so you can get to the ladder.
Yeah, once you're past that first zip in Wily 2, you're feeling a little bit more comfortable. Because Wily 1 is pretty scary, and then you have that first zip where you can take a death. And after that, the rest of Wily 2 and Wily 3 should be pretty safe.
Yeah, this is where you can relax a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Enough that you're not kind of on the edge of your seat, like thinking that you could die at any moment.
Right.
But we've seen players die in Wily 3. We've seen good players die in Wily 3, so it's not... You never want to relax too much, otherwise you'll find yourself in a pit or hitting spikes or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is something of a calm before the storm. Wily 4, 5, and 6 are all devastatingly difficult and can cause you massive time losses.
They are, as we saw in our first run. So, looking for those fishies. Let's see. StreamLine's up first. Are we going to get any this time? Maybe just one? Can we get just one for the race, for the viewers? There's one.
There we go.
All right.
For the fans.
Gotta keep them happy, man.
Otherwise, they won't show up for the next one.
Yeah, they might be like, all right, there was not enough Sabaping action happening in that last race. We're out. No, but in all seriousness, if you're watching this and if you enjoy Rockman 2, we have a lot more matches coming up. And as I mentioned, we are in the bracket stage, so now there's going to be just a lot of top-tier players taking on other top-tier players. So you're going to have very close races, very strong finishes, and a lot of excitement. So be sure to follow Speed Gaming 2, 3, 4, and even 5. Throw 5 in there for a follow. If you didn't know it existed, it does.
Yeah, I think our next match is tomorrow.
I believe we have one tomorrow night. I want to say probably around 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern.
I think I saw 11 Eastern, but I'm not positive on that.
Okay.
But yeah, we got Fatso and Llama Pals.
And that is again the match that we mentioned earlier, because the winner of that takes on Cypher, and of course the winner of that will take on the winner of this one. So we're going to be getting through that side of the bracket pretty early on here. So StreamLine on into Wily 4. This is, of course, one of the most dangerous stages. He's having himself a good time so far. Nice climb.
Yeah, he had a really nice recovery after missing the jump off the item 3 on screen 2.
Does not miss that vertical zip this time. He had missed it last time. He goes for like a really high placement there. I think he actually throws the item 3 before he lands, and then that way when you jump, you're like landing right at the very top of it, saving a little bit of time. But he gets it, so he's on through into our little spike area, and no Shoka Dance today. Oh, I stand corrected. We have some Shoka Dance. He must have heard me.
Yeah, he heard you and had to prove you a liar.
He's eavesdropping somehow on my... All right, so StreamLine is through. Provided he doesn't get delay scrolled, and it doesn't look like he did, so...
This last zip is the scariest part of the stage for me.
Yeah, the setup is tough. The trigger, you see these guys are A-triggering, none of them got any extra, and he's just got to get this last wiggle, he's in, okay. And then you have one final exit zip, he gets that too. So nice placement there. He gets the first double. You have to use these crash bombs in such a way that you're knocking out 2 for 1. And he's got one more double, and that one looks good.
Very nice Wily 4 for Streamline.
Yeah, so Streamline really making it tough now for Ahmad. Streamline, I think it's going to have to be like either he doesn't get a health drop in Wily 5 when he should, or he overzips Wily 6, or he hugs the alien. Those are basically Ahmad's outs at this point.
Yeah, Streamline still doesn't have an extra life, right?
No. So a game over in Wily 5 would basically set him back between anywhere between 1 and 3 minutes, depending on where it happens. But having a nice fight so far. And, he took very little damage, and he's at full health, so he is really in great shape here to start off his refights. And it looks like Ahmad did not get a good placement there, so he's going to be down to 1 crash bomb. Oh, does he know this backup? Okay, I think, yeah, he's good.
Okay. The classic overcorrection. He was a pixel high last time, and this time a pixel low.
Of course.
And Streamline going out of his way to get that
now,
help.
He knows.
Because that's not one you would normally pick up.
Yeah, either his chat or he is screen watching, and I'm thinking his chat probably. I don't think, or maybe Ahmad typed something in RaceBot, who knows? But he's been informed that he has the lead, so he is taking no chances here.
Yep. Staying his distance from he got a 2-cycle airman. Airman being very generous.
Yeah. These refights are going really. Meanwhile, Ahmad has made his way into refights as well. His health situation is, again, not the greatest, but he can't really afford to sit around and pick up those health drops either. He's got to just kind of book it.
Yes. Streamline would pretty much have to miss 1 or both crash bombs, I think. Ooh.
Yeah, well, we did see Ahmad miss a crash bomb last time, so it's not unheard of. It can happen, but again, Streamline, very experienced, very comfortable in these situations. He's done this a million times, and he hits the first crash bomb. So yeah, he's pretty much out of harm's way. Even if he missed that second one, he could probably switch to metal and finish with a backup. So now it comes down to Wily 6, man.
Yeah, he's cruising to a mid-27 if he doesn't make a large mistake here.
Yeah. Yeah, these are the kind of times you can expect to see for the rest of the tournament. We have top players, so he's got to set up this first zip here. You don't even have to trigger this one. It's really just don't place the item ones too high and make sure you can get underneath the ceiling, which he does nicely, and then just don't overzip that door. And he stops nice and early. He's going to put some slow wiggles on it. And the final fight here, if Streamline can close this out, just don't hug the alien because you'll lose 80% of your health. And he is going to take the victory if he can do that. But if he dies, we could see Ahmad take the lead.
Alright, looks good so far.
Oh, he's missed a couple shots now, but he does have a good backup, and he finishes it off. Look like about a 27. Yeah, good game by Streamline. Look about a 27-38, I think, is when he got the kill. So Streamline gonna take it home. He is victorious in 2 straight after a very, very bumpy start. I think you could see that he got warmed up sufficiently in that first run. And the second run, seeing a mid-27, I mean, even though we have like expectations for these players, it's still pretty amazing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you got to be happy with the mid-27 in a race.
Yeah, that's gonna win you. That's gonna win you a lot of races, I think.
Yeah, I would say most of them. We might get to a point in the tournament where mid-27 is not good enough, but
not cutting it. Yeah.
At least where we're at now, like we can expect that to win most of the races.
So we're gonna see.
You gotta take a gap to your opponent.
Yeah.
Nice setup.
Nice setup there by Ahmad. So he is going to go ahead and finish it out. I know he's going to be just a little bit disappointed with this. He really wanted to finish strong. He was mentioning he's like, I just want to, I want to get a 27 in the tournament. Very, very capable player. I hope that he sticks with the game because he has come so far so fast, and he still has the potential to push his time even lower. It would be nice to see him continue.
Ahmad is certainly a threat to get a 26 in this game. Like, that's the kind of talent he has.
No question. And a nice kill there that time.
GG.
GG.
Gotta be kicking himself a little bit for letting that first one get away from him, but I mean,
that one tile wiggle. That's the difference. That is literally the difference. He would at least have game 3 if he was able to hit that wiggle and presumably not die on the alien. He would have been in there. So great games by both of our runners, though, nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a shame one of them has to go home because these are two really good speedrunners.
Yeah. It was kind of that time in the tournament where you hate to see that, but it is indeed what happens. I did actually get a response from Stream. I was a little late, but regarding stream watching, Streamline says sometimes. So I think he took a peek in that second one there. I think, why don't we try to see if either of these guys wants to come in for an interview now?
Yep, sounds good.
Let's see if we can get a hold of them.
Yeah, hopefully now that we're in the bracket stage, we start getting some more interviews in here.
Okay, looks like Ahmad has agreed to an interview. Let's see if Streamline is also amenable, but let's see if I can pull Ahmad in here. Hello, Ahmad. Good games, man. That was some tough breaks you caught there. What are you feeling right now?
What am I feeling? Pretty good, except the air death.
That was a rough one.
But yeah, StreamLine people's playing so good. Can't really complain.
Yeah, it's tough to beat the time you put up in the second match. I mean, obviously it's something you're capable of. The first match was a little unfortunate. That one, I mean, I'm not sure if you weren't screen watching. I don't know if you know exactly how that went down.
I wasn't actually. What happened?
So Streamline took a death in air. You were actually ahead the whole way. You were up 5 seconds going into Wily 6 before the overzip.
Oh no.
So that's it was, yeah, it was really close. It was quite a match. It was unfortunate, but I don't know. I'm really happy to see you in this tournament and how, you know, I'm sad to see you go home so early because I know you've been putting a lot of work in. Any thoughts on the tournament in general?
It was pretty fun. Different levels of players here and there. I was kind of expecting to get at least one race out of Streamline, and like you said, I was ahead on the first race, and then you witnessed my awesome wiggles again, which ended up being my worst time.
Yeah, wiggles are just really, really tricky, and it's something that, you know, for some people it's easier for them to get used to. I'm the same as you. Like, I've definitely had my struggles with getting the wiggles to the consistency level that I would want. So Facet CC had mentioned that you had kind of changed your style of how you do them recently. So what style are you using?
Oh yeah, I'm not actually using the new style since I saw a lot of two-tile wiggles happening with that. So I'm just using my thumb, you know, going from left to right constantly. But the new strategy was me using both of my thumbs actually, just my right thumb holding right, and then left thumb tapping left, and that's how I got one-tile wiggles. So,
not in the tournament anymore. Are you planning on continuing with Rockman 2? I know you've been going pretty hard at this game.
Yes, we're definitely going to hunt for that OX time.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, very exciting. It's been great to kind of watch how fast you've progressed in this game. I mean, a lot of people have picked this game up, but you've really driven the time down very low, very quickly. So it's been impressive to watch. And I was actually curious. I know that you had just found this out recently, that the AVS actually loses you just a little bit of time. Is there ever any intention to switch over to an official console to play?
That's a good question. Maybe someday. I mean, was it like 3 seconds I'm losing in 30 minutes runs or something? With the AVS?
I think so. I think it's somewhere around there. Yeah, it's not a huge amount of time, but with how good you are and how low you've driven your time, like those seconds definitely matter. So I'm curious.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, if you're wanting to just get those extra seconds, or if it's not a thing.
That's probably something I need to think about. If I found Famicom somewhere, I'm probably going to buy it. But for now, the AVS seems to be a really good tool for at least learning the game. Nothing else.
Yeah, that might determine what ingredient you are in the OX sandwich when you join it.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, we have a very tight grouping there in that OX sandwich, as Fasta mentioned. But we're certain that you're going to get there, man. So we're excited to keep watching you. And everybody out there watching, please follow Ahmad. I think we have put the command in here. Hopefully we can get some links to the stream. Oh, maybe not. I believe, is it Ahmad _ or is it 2 underscores?
2 underscores, yeah.
2 underscores. Okay, let me go ahead and put that in there so people know to follow you. And the one thing I will say is very nice about AVS is it looks beautiful. It's really very clean. And I was curious also if you had any kind of like, did you ever experience any input lag or perceived input lag when you're playing, or does it feel very good?
I mean, just last year when I was doing the normal Mega Man 2 runs, I obviously used emulator. And just coming from an emulator to an AVS, it's like night and day. There's no input lag at all. It feels really good.
That's great.
But yeah, if you like Rockman 2, definitely follow Ahmad's stream. He's been playing it a lot, and he's one of the best.
Very inconsistent, though. That's my problem. But StreamLine played really well today, and I'm happy he's facing Cypher, so good luck with that.
Well, he's not facing Cypher just yet. The match does have to be played, but yeah.
Right.
There's a pretty good chance that Cypher, of course, world record holder, will defeat his first round opponent. But yeah, so thanks for putting on a great show, man. It's been really great having you in the tournament. I'm glad you joined. I'm glad you picked up this game and you've been pushing it the way that you have. We'll all keep watching your stream and supporting, man. We're looking forward to you getting that OX and maybe even 26, man. Could be in your future, so we'll see.
Maybe eventually, yeah. But thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Ahmad.
All right, so I've been told by Streamline that he is indeed having some internet issues. So I think we're going to have to take an unfortunate pass on his interview.
Yeah, his internet showed up just long enough for him to win 2-0 and get out of Dodge.
Right. That's
the Streamline way. Just cruises in and cruises out.
So we'll never know exactly when he was doing that screen watching, but yeah, still a great performance by him. And I'm going to go ahead and check right now what our upcoming schedule is, so you guys will know when to watch for the next matches. So we do have Llama Pals and Colonel Fatso, as FastCC mentioned. You were correct. It is 11 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. We don't have a Speed Gaming channel for that yet, but just follow them all and you'll be sure to catch it. And then we have further down the line, it looks like Mazimov and Envy on April 15th. I believe that's probably next weekend.
Yeah, a week from today.
Yeah, it looks like next Sunday, and that is going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern. And there'll probably be some matches in between there, so keep your eyes open and keep watching the Rockman 2. I'm Sinister1, FastCC. It's been great commentating with you again, man. And you guys may not know this, but we actually have to face off against each other in the tournament as well. So, so we'll be seeing each other.
Can't avoid my destiny, you know.
And we get to face off in Calithon, so plenty of race action for us going on as well. But yeah, man, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Glad to get a chance to watch two great runners go at it.
No doubt, and we have plenty more. So hopefully we'll get to commentate some more of these matches. But for now, we're gonna say sign off here, and thank you for watching. Keep watching. I'm sure there's more great action coming up on Speed Gaming. We'll see you for the next match.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.